Wake up. Your yesterday is gone. Your life as a whole. What would you give to get it back? Fog held the city by the throat. Windows sweated. Alleys kept secrets. People searched their pockets for memories and found none. A child forgot his own birthday song. A husband forgot a promise he had carried for years. A student walked to an exam and could not recall the date. Everyone felt the same missing weight. Yesterday had been taken. Armin fixed watches for a living. His shop leaned into a narrow market street. Tiny screws glittered on a faded cloth. Springs slept in matchboxes. Gears waited in glass jars like patient coins. He wound 3 clocks and listened. They kept perfect time. The city did not. A bell tower rose at the market edge. Its hands pointed to midnight. They had not moved since dawn. Armin climbed the iron stairs. Dust lay on the steps, like pale ash. At the top, he found the heart of the mechanism. It was a rib cage of brass and wood. Something was wrong. A gear missed a single tooth. One small gap. One cruel absence. Armin took out his pocket watch. It was old. It had belonged to his teacher. The case was scratched by careful years. The chain was warm from his skin. He opened the back with a knife he kept in his sleeve. He stared at a thin, hidden tooth near the rim. It would fit. It was perfect. He closed his eyes and listened to the city breathe. The breath sounded tired. Night rolled early. Stalls shuttered and opened again, as if confused. A second market woke inside the first. It was the midnight market. It opened only when a city lost something it loved. Lanterns hung from ropes like low moons. Coins did not speak here. Memories paid the bill. Armin walked past a stall that sold lost smells. He passed a booth that traded names for courage. A girl stood on a crate and sang a thin song. Her name was Layla. Her jacket was patched. Her eyes caught everything. "You lost something," she said. "We all did," Armin said. "The day," she said. He nodded. A tall man watched from the shadows. He wore a hat edged with fine pins. Sand leaked from his pockets in a slow fall. People called him the time tax man. He did not advertise. He never had to. He stepped toward Armin like a page turning. "I can help," he said. "What will it cost?" Armin asked. "Something you will feel every morning," the man said. "Something light. Something heavy." Armin looked at his pocket watch. His teacher's hand had closed it for the last time. His own hand had opened it 1,000 times after. "Can you return a city's yesterday?" Armin asked. The man considered the fog. "Yes," he said. "If you open the right door?" "How?" Armin asked. "Break what you love," the man said. "Find the underclock. Take back the day. Pay the price. Bring it home." Layla stepped down from her crate. She spoke in a low voice. "The underclock is real," she said. "It lives below the tower. It waits behind locked questions." "Why help me?" Armin asked. "Because my brother drowned last spring," she said. "I can still feel the cold. I cannot remember his last laugh. I want that laugh back. If you can return a day, a laugh may float to shore." Armin stood very still. He opened his watch again. He held it like a small world. He thought of his teacher's voice. He thought of the city's missing breath. He made his choice. He snapped the blade under the tiny tooth. He pried. The watch sang a thin note. The tooth came free. The note hung in the fog like a silver thread. A circle of light opened on the tower floor. A door waited inside the circle. Cold air rose. It smelled like wet metal. Layla took his hand. "Down," she said. "Down," he agreed. They descended narrow stairs. The stone was damp. Water ticked from the ceiling like slow rain. They reached a small chamber. 3 doors faced them. Each door had a face. Each face had a mouth. The first door spoke. "Give me a lie," it said. "Then pass." Armin hated lying. His chest tightened. He looked at Layla. She watched him with steady eyes. He swallowed. "I am not afraid," he said. The door smiled. It opened with a soft grin. The second door spoke. "Give me a truth," it said. "Then pass." Armin closed his eyes. "I am alone," he said. "I wake to my tools, not to a voice. I keep time. I do not keep company." The door shuddered. It opened in a single breath. The third door spoke. "Give me a heartbeat," it said. "Then pass." Armand lifted his hand to his chest. He felt a drum in a small room. "Take mine," he said. Layla stepped forward. "Take mine," she said. "No," Armand said. "Your songs move people. My clocks only move hands." He pressed his palm against cold wood. The door grew warm. He felt one beat leave and not return. The door swung wide. They entered the hall of stolen hours. Glass bulbs floated like quiet stars. Each bulb held a trapped moment. Inside one bulb, a man kissed his new child. Inside another, a team rowed a silver boat. Inside a third, rain fell on open mouths. At the center drifted a larger globe. It glowed a faint blue. Yesterday slept inside it like a winter seed. The time tax man's voice came from the dark. "Take it," he said. "Pay me later." "What is your rate?" Armin asked. "A single hour from you." "Every morning. For 1 year," the man said. "An hour is small," Armand said. "An hour is large," the man said. "You will know which." Armin thought of the child's birthday song. He thought of the husband's promise. He thought of the student's blank stare. He nodded. "I accept," he said. The globe drifted down. It touched his hands with cool light. It shrank into a coin of frost. He slipped it into his pocket. The hall exhaled. The bulbs dimmed. The doors opened behind them like patient eyes. They climbed. The city was very quiet. The fog seemed thinner. Armin returned to the tower heart. He set the stolen day in the gap. He placed his teacher's tooth in the wheel. He pushed once. The mechanism woke. Teeth kissed teeth. Levers nodded. Springs bowed. The great hands moved. Time took a step. Then another. People stopped and stared. One laughed out loud. Another clapped her hands. Someone began to cry and did not know why. A street vendor looked up at the bell and kissed his apron. A teacher rechecked a date in chalk and smiled. The day slid back into place. The city stood taller by a finger width. Armand felt lightheaded. He sat on the iron stair. Layla leaned against the wall. Her eyes were wet. "Thank you," she said. "For the laugh I lost. For the breath we all found." Armand nodded. His heart missed the beat it had given. He did not regret the trade. He looked out over the market. He saw faces turn soft. He saw the fog let go. He also saw the time tax man. The man tipped his hat. Tomorrow would begin the debt. 1 hour, every morning, for 1 year. Armand held the tower rail and listened to the city breathe. The breath sounded stronger. He closed his tired eyes. He prepared to pay. Morning came like a careful hand. Armin woke before dawn. He watched his clock. He waited for the first toll. It did not come. His first hour had vanished. He felt a hollow note in his chest. It did not hurt. It did not comfort. It was simply gone. He opened his shop. He oiled a hinge. He mended a strap. He tightened a screw with narrow focus. Outside, the market sounded bright. A child sang the birthday verse he had forgotten. A man set flowers on a window ledge. A student checked his date and moved with light steps. No one said Armand's name. That was fine. The second morning took another hour. Armand marked a small line in a notebook. He wrote a single sentence. Today, I give an hour for someone's first promise. The third morning took another. He wrote again. Today I give an hour for someone's last apology. Days stacked like simple bricks. Each line felt like a beam. Layla visited at dusk. She brought bread and a cracked smile. I felt something tug inside me, she said. Then I remembered my brother's laugh. It came back in a bright piece. Armand held the bread with grateful hands. He did not mention the hours. She already knew. A week passed. The tower kept time like a good heart. The midnight market slept. The time tax man did not return. His shadow crossed corners at odd hours. People pretended not to notice. Some learned to nod at the shadow. It nodded back. One afternoon, a city collector arrived. He wore polished boots and a narrow mouth. He counted things for a living. He pointed at the tower. "You fixed that," he said. Armin did not answer. "It cost the city nothing," the collector said. "It should cost the city something." Layla stepped from behind the counter. "It cost him," she said. The collector smiled without smiling. "Then we owe me," he said. "That is not how owing works," Layla said. "It is how I work," he said. He named a price. He wanted a levy on every stall. He wanted a fee on every bell ring. He wanted applause taxed by the clap. People grew quiet. The quiet felt thin. Armin stood very still. He heard the tower breathing through the floor. He heard the market shifting like a school of fish. Armin walked into the street. He spoke to the crowd in a clear voice. "I gave an hour each morning," he said. "I did so in secret. I will not do this part in secret. If a debt must be paid, we will pay in a better coin. We will pay with care. We will pay with time we choose." He took his notebook from his pocket. He tore out a page. He held it up. It listed a week of given hours. It did not ask for thanks. It asked for practice. "Here's our rule," he said. "When you gain, give first. When you laugh, ease someone first. When you rest, guard someone first. If you take, return to things. One visible, one quiet." The collector scoffed. "Rules do not fill my ledger," he said. Layla stepped forward. Her voice reached the square. "Then bring your ledger," she said. "We will fill it with hands." The blacksmith raised his hand. "I will fix broken hinges for free on first Tuesdays," he said. The baker raised hers. "I will mark one loaf each morning for a stranger," she said. A teacher lifted chalk. "I will sit with the child who reads the slowest," he said. The midwife touched her bag. "I will walk the long hill without a fee," she said. Hands rose like tide. The square filled with small vows. The collector's mouth tightened. His book had never held this kind of line. He tried a final move. "Then I tax your vows," he said. "Pay me a bright coin for each one kept." Armin looked at him with a calm face. "You may have a different coin," he said. He opened his palm. A tiny gear tooth lay there. It was the one he had taken from his teacher's watch. It had touched the blue globe of yesterday. It held a sound only clocks could hear. Armin placed it in the collector's hand. "You will listen to this at night," he said. "It will count what you cannot count. If it makes you kinder, keep it. If it does not, bring it back. We will trade again." The collector studied the tooth. He heard a faint pattern under his own pulse. He could not tell if it was music or warning. He closed his fingers. He took one step back. He took one more. He left without a price. The year turned like a careful page. Armin kept giving hours. He wrote each line with a plain pen. "Today I give an hour for a mother who waits. Today I give an hour for a letter that must be written. Today I give an hour for a name that should be said." People began to leave small gifts at his door. Fresh pears. A folded note. A story told through the slot. He kept the pears. He kept the notes. He kept the stories more than anything. On the last morning, the city was clear. Sun warmed the bell. Birds practiced. Armin woke before dawn as always. He waited for the first hour to vanish. It did not. Silence held. He did not feel the empty note. He stood and listened again. He felt whole. The time tax man stood in the doorway. He looked tired and kind for the first time. "You kept your bargain," he said. "You paid in full." "I felt it," Armin said. "Every morning," the man said. "I felt your lines," he said. They reached the underclock like thin ropes. They tied the city to itself. "Do you want the tooth?" Armin asked. The man shook his head. You earned a gift, he said. When you choose, you may give your hour to another. No pain, no debt, only intent. You may do this whenever you want. You may do this as many times as your heart allows. He tipped his hat. Sand spilled once more. The spill sounded like distant rain. Then he was gone. Armin walked to the tower. The stairs knew his steps. He touched the old brass and spoke softly. Thank you, he said. The tower did not answer. It did not need to. He went back to the market. Layla waited with a song folded in her throat. Sing, he said. I will give you an hour, she sang. Her voice climbed the stone like ivy. People stopped and looked up. A woman forgot to be sad for one verse. A child forgot to be brave for one verse. Both were changed. That night the city tried its new rule again. A baker hung a free loaf on a nail. A guard walked a longer circle so a nurse could sleep. A man taught his neighbor how to write his name. A girl held a broken kite. A tailor mended it without a price. None of it made the bell louder. All of it made the day softer. Armand locked his shop. He wrote one last line in his notebook. Today, I give an hour to everyone who needs one. He closed the cover. He placed the book on the shelf with careful hands. He looked at the sky. It had room again. He whispered to the city in a voice that belonged to all of them. Keep what is given, he said. Give what you keep, he said. Begin again, he said. Subscribe to Refound Legacy, where lost legends find their way home.